It is an honor to have the opportunity to share my experiences, aspirations, and thoughts of the last 4 years at this extraordinary high school. I remember walking to the halls of Sachem East as a clumsy ninth grader, ambivalent about the changings in my surroundings, yet eager to get a taste of the new challenges ahead of me. However, never in my mind had I imagined that I would be able to meet a group of students as open-minded and compassionate as the ones that stand before me today. As a class, we were able to push one another through difficult times and celebrate during times of jubilance. As a class, we were able to come together and support our wide range of teams and clubs, from our football and arrowhead teams to our robotics and drama club, cheering for them and showing our Sachem spirit. As a class, we were able to do something that few others can proudly say. We are a family, the Sachem family. Yet, our time together grows short. We are all on our own paths of life. As new doors open and we race into them, we'll always have our Sachem roots, propping us up the entire length of the journey. As we indulge in these last few moments, let us reflect on all of the people that have helped us along the way. First, what is a school without its faculty and administration? Every individual in the Sachem family has a distinct quality, a quality that adds to the zest of what makes Sachem unique. The teachers are without exception. They not only succeed in their objective as educators to drive our passions and teach us about the world we live in, but also as friends who can we relate to and speak openly to. There are many teachers that I would want to thank, but if I read all the names, I'm afraid some of them might want to retire by the time I'm done. Our faculty and staff are the backbone of Sachem East, and I think they all deserve a round of applause for their continuous effort and contribution towards education. Now, what is high school without friends? Probably a pretty boring place. Luckily, my friends gave me no break, no rest, and no time to think, ever. They periodically check on me to check if I was doing well and if I'm sane. And if I was, they tried to mess it up. Yet I feel like it's a mixed blessing. I don't know if I can ever find people like that anywhere else. I'm sure many others feel this way too. Regardless, the bonds we formed in high school are eternal. No matter how far apart we'll be, the joyful times, the hardships, all of it will be preserved. The one thing I want to do this summer before I leave for college is tell each and every one of them, of my friends, how much they mean to me, and to keep in touch, even if it is just a hi on Facebook every month or so. Now, I have been approached by many of them wanting shout-outs. I've actually gotten some pretty aggressive requests as well, like really aggressive. I think one of my friends went to school in the last few days solely to try to persuade me to mention him. You know who you are. So acting as the caring and charitable person that I am, my response to all of them is no. If you see a headline on Newsday that says, high school graduate gets mauled after graduation, you know what happened. Lastly, I think that my peers and I can agree, none of us would be where we are today without our parents. They are the ones that had to endure our whining, crying, slobbering faces when we were infants, to our whining, crying, slobbering faces as seniors. Up to this day, I don't know how my parents have dealt with me these last 18 years. There's actually an interesting story that I want to share. When I was around 10 years old, my parents were discussing the marriage of one of my relatives. Being the curious child I was, I asked them how they both met one another. My dad said, "Lula," which means joy joy in Chinese. Some people I know may find that ironic. He said, "We actually met in the city. You see, when I was walking around, I saw this dollar bill sitting on a payphone. I quickly went to grab it, but someone else grabbed it at the same time I did. That person was your mom. After quarreling for a bit, we compromised by agreeing to marry one another so we'd both get to keep the dollar." Let me remind you, I was 10 years old at this time. I didn't even know how pants worked. So I believed every word they said up until some point in ninth grade. Then I had an epiphany of some sorts, and I realized that there was absolutely no logic behind that. I later learned that my parents came to America with virtually nothing. They endured setback after setback, but in the end, through hardship and struggle, they managed to stay afloat. They chose to live such a bitter and unforgiving life in the hopes that my sister and I could set sail to great places. After learning about this, I remembered all the times I was being rebellious, rambunctious, disrespectful towards them, and I really hated myself for it. So, Ma, Ba, I just want you two to know that I love you both very much. Well, I need Baba, Mama. I would never be anywhere near I am today without your love and support. You two really mean the world to me. My fellow classmates, I think our parents deserve a round of applause for all they have done. I also want to thank my sister Laura, no matter how seemingly devious and evil she may be on the outside. My brother-in-law Nathan for their continued support and encouragement over these last few years. Well, it seems it's like nearing the point in the speech where I would give some sort of advice to my fellow peers. Yet, who am I, an 18-year-old, to give advice? Maybe when I'm 80 and someone rings me up on my rotary dial phone, I'll have some sound advice then. However, if there was one message I could tell my younger self from my experience in high school, it would be to be more empathetic and more perceptive. I feel, including from personal experience, many people are oblivious to the varying circumstances that other people have to endure. During my sister's graduation at Princeton University, Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, was a speaker. I can never forget one line he had said that is ingrained in my memory. He said, "Cleverness is a gift, but kindness is a choice." Those words continue to resonate with me today, and I hope that you can all find some personal meaning in it as well. Well, class of 2015, the world is eagerly waiting for our arrival. Let's take them by storm and show them what we are made of. Thank you.